discussing that. Hey, final round. I already know how I'm coming, man. Tryna run the town. Tell no duck when they hear that sound. How they gon' come up now? Heavy as the head that'll wear that crown. I'm going pound for pound. And if it's about smoke, then we talk all of that. From an ounce to a pound. Take it, they biting this now. Cause my drip right out the seat. How could they be? Give me a couple of rounds. Cause I'm a beast when I'm on vitamin G. You see they start crumbling now. Mind struck, start mumbling now. Get the gist, I ain't reaching for cloud. Plot twist, I'm the one with the keys. Clock blitz, know they look how I freeze. Different continents, I be torn. We living life, making yours look boring. See, we win at the end, it's a spoiler warning. Cause I keep heating up, I might blow the whole planet. They calling me toxic like global warming. But they keep tuning in once again and again. I'm the one at the top, just to form a warning. Truly, I'm De Niro when it come to movies. Get De Niro, entertain the groupies. Habanero if you come pursue me. But I hop on the game, too busy rolled up whenever my girl getting moody. Link up with the gang, we all go insane. Catching them doors on the duty. On the stick, see I'm locked in. Bought a box, I was like 10. Back then, used to box, nowadays they ain't throwing hands. Mama said we got more advanced. One thing about me, I adapt, bought a Glock fin. Keep me safe from the block in. The game kept me off the block. Ain't got flex about looting my Ruger. I can shit on you with my computer. See my graphics card costs more than your damn job can afford to pay you. And my monitor, big as hell, detail, so I can see when I spray you. Then reload the clip and record the clip as it go. I'll say to that SSD, know a whole lot of trill game heads like me wanna see tune into that VGP. Take over the west and the east, and we got just what you need on vitamin G.
All right, let me turn this on.
Welcome.
We're recording, we're live,
Yo.
What's going on, YouTube? This is your boy FC Violent back again with another weekly dose of that Vitamin G Gaming Podcast. You already know what it is. We got some interesting topics today, as usual. But before we get started, I got to introduce the panel. First time appearance, I believe. Let me go with the special guest here, Akira. How you say, Yagami?
Yeah, no, just go for Akira.
Hey, Akira,
It's all
man.
good.
What's going on, bro? What you been up to, man?
Yeah, I've been I've been playing Shadow Warriors because, Shadow Warriors 3 is almost there and it looks so good. And I'm waiting for Fist, the rabbit with a metal arm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what's
waiting
up,
for
man.
it because
It looks fun.
it does. It's a unique spin on a Metroidvania. You got hack and slash elements for Metroidvania, and kind of a mixture of Metroid, Mega Man, all that. It looks really fun. Really excited to play it. So yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Nice, man. Nice. Well, welcome, man. We got some stuff to talk about, man, for sure. Let's get the rest of the panel here, man. I know we're missing a few, but we, as always, we'll definitely crack on and hopefully make this show entertaining for y'all. Dante Crisis, what's going on, bro? What you been up to?
Not much. Still playing Borderlands. Got
Nice.
one of the DLCs done. Going to be finishing the second one this weekend coming, which is the Armory of General Knox. And the start of the game, everybody here has been bugging me to play.
That's what's up, man. Okay, real quick, because I think
And
go ahead,
I'm gonna announce it now because it's gonna be going. It's not gonna be going live tomorrow, but it's gonna be it's gonna be scheduled for. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be scheduling it for premiere tonight, so it will come out at a later date, and that is Ori and the Blind Forest.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
One of my all-time favorites, man. I hope you enjoy that, man. Definitely.
overall experience is really nice. Neil got me in tears in the first fucking 8 minutes. So congratulations on that one.
Yeah.
Definitely takes the show don't tell approach, which I very much respect. But
Yeah.
there are certain sections in that, like specifically climbing the water tree.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain sections in that just. And I'm obviously playing the PC version with a PlayStation 4 controller.
Mm-hmm.
So I am playing it in a comfortable setting, and because I prefer playing games like that with a controller. But there are some times when that game can just be unapologetically, and in someone's going to disagree. I don't care. In some regards, slightly unfair in its challenge, especially when you're trying to do certain things like using enemy projectiles to ascend that tree, but because everything's on a timer and a world timer, if you miss it, you're kind of fucked, and you've got to wait for enemies to actually fire the projectile while you are trying to avoid a pretty much insta-kill bottom that's coming up after you. That didn't do it for me.
Yeah, but
What is that?
That's the first one, I believe.
Ori and the Blind Forest is the first one. The second one is Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
He's talking about those chase sequences where you have to in a one way get lucky, and second you just have to be like flawless in your run, otherwise you die. But it gives it a sense of like intenseness. You know what I mean? Because like if you don't get the projectile fired off, if you don't time it right, you're definitely dead.
No, it isn't even a case of my timing being off. It's a case of I've got to sit there while the insta-death is currently rising up for me, and I've got to wait for the enemy to actually do something.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Fair enough. But before we continue, I don't think we did it last week. Dante Crisis background. I'm gonna go with Yagami here. Akira, where's he at? What's that background?
No, I'm right here. What's up?
No, so you see Dante Crisis screen. What is that video game that he has in this background?
Oh, Dante Crisis. Wait, which one is Dante Crisis here?
Right here, the guy with the Japanese stuff in the background with the 800 yen.
That would be from Judgment.
No.
Wait, let's.
No, not Judgment.
So that okay? Who said that?
One sec. Let me check.
Shadai said that, and I have a feeling I know what this is.
He's out.
It's definitely a Persona game. Am I out? Is that right? Is this Persona?
It actually looks like Persona. It doesn't look like Yakuza. It doesn't look like Judgment.
Looks like a Persona game. Like you're in the cafe in one of his early settlements.
If it were Yakuza, I would have thought of a bar. If it's Yakuza, like Bajos.
Yeah.
There is. If you look in the background, if you buff me out, there's literally something on the counter that gives away where I am. I specifically.
It's a little bit small.
I blew a screen up.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I guess you can't figure it out, man. I'm thinking it's Persona.
Do you have a clue?
Okay. No, I'll straight up say FC's right. I am. It is a Persona background.
Look at that.
Yeah, Persona.
Yeah, tis Omar. How do you not know? How do you not know this? All you Persona stands out there. All right, man. We'll keep it moving.
You want to know where I am?
That looks like the one of the coffee shops in the beginning of the game.
You are correct. It's Lebon.
Yeah. See, look at that. And you say I don't play games. It's like, no, let me stop. Eternal Shaddai, man. What's going on, bro? Long time overdue. What's up, brother?
I know, right? Long time. I don't know what, like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, it's been
if I'm not mistaken.
It's been a minute, man.
Hey.
You've been one of the first ones on the show, man. Welcome back. You got the camera game going on, bro. Representing the Bills. Boo. But other than that, man, what you been up to, my G?
Since the last time I've been here with you, since the beginning, I've been actually playing some games and podcasting here and there. And now, pretty much, permanently doing podcasting on Sunday with Noof Nukem called Good Morning Xbox.
Nice.
So
nice.
It has been a long journey since I've been here in Vitamin G, man. I remember that when I first started with you, I was like stuttering the heck out of it. Now I'm a little bit more loose.
That's good. It's funny because it's just full circle. I could tell just by your camera presence now, you're a little bit more confident. You're not stuttering to get your points across, and that's how it is, man. But anyway, I appreciate you coming back on the show, and hopefully, definitely wish you success on new show on Sunday. Let me get the rest of the panel. We're gonna get straight into these topics, man. We're gonna test your metal, man. We're gonna test your metal. Jubei, man, what you been up to, my G?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I ain't really been up to much. Played some. Actually, really just played much this weekend. I still need to finish Psychonauts 2. And yeah, that's about it.
Are you in your car, bro?
All right, I got. No, I'm on my phone now. I got a fantasy draft tonight, so I'm not at home.
Got you. That's actually fun. I was thinking about going to one, but like, nah, let me do the show, man. That's what's up. Omar, man, what you been up to, my G?
What's up? One of the games that I bought during the PlayStation sale was Origami. Origami. It's like a stealth game that's very interesting, and I'm really enjoying the heck out of it. It actually challenges you in two ways. One way, you can kill every single enemy on screen. Second way is you go from point A to point B without killing any person, and that's pure fun. Especially with the ability that they give you, which is basically magic and stuff like that. Very interesting. Other than that, I bought Fist. So
Nice.
after the show, you can go ahead and download that.
Nice.
I highly recommend it. I played the demo and I'm super excited for it.
Definitely, man. But real quick,
Yeah.
before you download all these damn games, have you beat Judgment yet, sir?
Judgment? No, I didn't start Judgment again because I told you why.
You have it downloaded. What do you mean?
No, I did download it, I think. Let me check.
You have it downloaded. We definitely set that up.
I swear I downloaded it. So far I remember.
Shaking my hand, bruh. When do you get to that game, man? Because Judgment 2 is coming soon,
Good.
if not already. When does it come out?
Yeah, about that. Are you gonna get
24th.
two on PlayStation or PC or Xbox?
That's a good question. I don't know.
It's not on
Probably,
PC.
I'm backing on you on PlayStation, so I can play it as well.
probably PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably PlayStation.
Other than that, I will play Judgment because I told you Tales of Arise arrive in few days.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna start Judgment when Tales of fucking Arise takes around 80 hours, something like that. Especially for someone like me who likes to play it and then try to plant it if I enjoy the game. And now you got Fist. Like, I'm going through the game little by little bit, and part of the games that I went through, which I didn't enjoy whatsoever, is a game by the name of Death Door.
Oh yeah.
As much as Death Door got the style, got the flair going for it, it lacks in reason in killing enemies. What I mean by that is you go from point A, it's a semi metro, not per se Metrovania, but more like it is kind of a Metrovania game. It got fantastic gameplay. I enjoy the gameplay. The combat is nice. The combat is smooth. The enemies are good. The boss battles are great, and the level design is great. Some of the stuff you see. However, it lacks in two things. One, there is no map, and basically, I don't mind having no map because the world is very small. But the problem arrives is when they give you at the start of the game, they give you a seed. They say plant the seed. You plant it, you get health from it.
Okay.
Me and my dumb head thought, okay, I'm gonna make it harder on myself and try to not use as much, try to use as little seed as possible. And by doing so, I kind of doomed myself. I better off starting a new playthrough because in order to get the secret, okay, now a little bit of spoiler. There is
Don't spoil. I haven't been in it yet. Basically, you need to use the seeds.
I haven't been. I will not say anything. Just
Okay.
Just
I need to beat it.
in order to get something, you need to have planted all seeds. And the problem is, I found every single seed except for one, but I have no idea where I need to plant them, because I would need to go to play the game all the way from the beginning to the end. It's kind of easy to run through, but it's just so time consuming and boring, because one of the biggest problem with this game is the lack of skills of combos. Like, I enjoy the combos a little bit, but skills are non-existent, and killing enemies doesn't reward you with anything. Well, it does reward you with souls, but at the same time, you're just upgrading your magic, your strength. There is no there is no skills involved. It becomes very boring, very repetitive, very fast. The only good got is the bosses. But yeah, there's that.
Okay. I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about it though, so it's interesting
Yeah,
that you didn't seem to like it.
I would give it a 6 out of 10.
6.
Absolutely.
I liked it, but this is not HQ. Like, I can name an indie game by the name of. Oh, my bad.
No, go Jube, go real quick. Your mic sucks, by the way. Hopefully you can clear that up. What were you trying to say?
I'm going to switch out of these headphones. But yeah, no, the seeds part is on you. That's your fault. You can't take off the score because you didn't even play the game right. And two, you're the only person I know that thinks that shit's boring.
That's what I'm saying, because everyone else says the game is actually like that. Like, it's up there for Game of the Year. So it's interesting how you feel like it's 6. But hey, fair enough. If you think it's a 6, it is what it is. I'm curious how you feel like it's not. I've been told it's not like a Metroidvania. It's more like a top-down, old-school Zelda. But
and that's how it is.
Yeah, which is a dungeon crawler. But it's all good. I can't wait to play and see how it is. We'll move on to the last panel member before we get into it. Feral Gaming, man. What's going on with you, bro?
Not much. I've been playing 12 minutes. Hopefully I finish it either tonight or tomorrow.
Nice.
So
have you finished
like
Psychonauts?
It's a little different.
Have you played Psychonauts 2 yet?
I have downloaded it. I haven't played it yet.
The game is good, man.
So it's on the hard drive. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I'm trying to push through 12 minutes. I finally got to like the point where like I was able to like incapacitate the guy that's trying to kill us, and like get some information out of him. So like I guess I'm at the midway point. So
nice. Okay, that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Just so you're aware, you're probably not.
What's up?
Oh, where he's fuck's sake. Where he's incapacitated. No, you're probably not. Actually, you're probably not.
Oh no, there's I mean, there's a lot to go in the whole story behind that. But if you got it to that point, you have to a lot more clues you got to get.
Also, you might want to think outside the box to get the what is being considered the true ending of 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm almost done with that. I gotta go back and get some of the.
That's how long it lasts me to play that. Only 12 minutes. I'm like, change. Not my.
not your thing.
It's cool, but yeah, like the mechanics of the game kind of take you away from the story.
It's
a
true.
Bit.
It's a point and click old school adventure type of game.
But the thing is time loop games can time loop games are. Time loop games are a finicky fucker to write for because you need to make sure that the story is still engaging all the way to the end, as well as having a reasonable ending where I think 12 minutes doesn't have.
Gotcha.
Did you play it?
No, I've seen it.
Okay.
I've seen the story.
I've played
but
it.
I know the type of game like. And what I mean, like time loop games, I mean, Returnal kind of different game, but I'm talking more from a story standpoint. Returnal kind of falls into that same vein of a time loop narrative. Like you need to keep people engaged in the narrative for that time loop to not become repetitive and just completely destroy you.
Yeah, the game does not challenge you as a gamer, but it challenges how you think of how you would, handle these situations. Like, but as a gamer, it doesn't necessarily challenge you. I wouldn't say it had any real difficulty to it outside of thinking.
You know what 12 minutes you know what 12 minutes reminds me? You guys ever did that thing where it's like an escape room? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I haven't done it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's like that where you're in a room, you're getting these little clues, and you got to figure out how to escape using the little clues. In this part, it's I guess escape is not the right word, but it's like to solve or get out that loop that you're in. So you're escaping that loop by figuring out the clues that you need to figure out. So it's similar, but in a video game form.
When I first tried that game, the first game that popped into my mind was, am I playing Sims but with better graphics or something? So
yeah,
I saw that kitchen knife and I was like, man, let's just end this real quick.
Yeah, big facts though. I went and grabbed the kitchen knife first. I was like, all right, so this dude all right, let me get this kitchen knife. Next time he tries to do it, I'll stab him in the stomach. And I'm like, okay, that's not the type of game we're making. I'm like, all right, I can't do that. So, but
I made a lot of mistakes because my wife on that game was pissed off. Like, oh, you did this? Okay, never mind. Went back to the couch. I'm like, oh man, what did I do?
I effed him up pretty good a couple times to where he had to shoot me. Cause there's a couple times where you stab and he just punches you like, oh, you a little bitch. You can't. But it's a couple times he had to actually shoot me. So I feel like I did all right.
Yeah, that's wild, man. All right, well, let's move on. First, I want to salute the chat, man. I appreciate you guys coming through. King Thrash Gaming, salute. Dragonheart Yobi, #1 Patreon member. What's up with you, man? Eternal Shadai's in the chat. Diclonius Games, Cam McNair, Joseph P, salute to you. Noof Nukem, what's going on, man? And anyone else that are listening after the fact, make sure you karate chop that like button, share this out to gamers everywhere, and definitely subscribe if you are new, man. Share the word, spread the word. All right, man. Let's get to the first thing. I don't want to spend too much on this particular topic, but we do have to discuss it in some capacity. Horizon Forbidden West free update. I put it on Debacle because at first, initially, you had to. You have to pay the increase to get the PS5 version.
Initially, initially there wasn't even an option to upgrade.
No, I mean the digital, right? I thought the physical there wasn't. I thought there was
no for the physical.
The digital wasn't. It's the expensive.
Digital
one.
you could put, but for physical there wasn't. So basically, there was a lot of people. I've seen some like Wooly Gamer. Salute to Wooly Gamer for saying his piece as a PlayStation fan. And he put it down basically like, listen, the guys who are saying that this is okay are not PlayStation fans, because in his mind, if you're a PlayStation fan, you want other PlayStation fans to be able to enjoy the game without being rinsed for their money, meaning the PS4 gamers, right? And he's seen it as like a fan of PlayStation. So he sees it like that. But then there's the other crowd where they're like, well, either wait to get a PlayStation 5 or it doesn't bother me because I already have a PS5. So, whatever. I'm not blaming Sony, not one bit. So
the ones who were really good at deep throating, clearly.
Yeah, which is wild, and I mean I can understand that point of view too. And now that Sony has honored their original promise, salute to Jim Ryan, who says that this would be a free upgrade. They're now doing that for all of the ones that they mentioned. I think what's the last game they're gonna do it for? Is it God of War? I can't remember correctly.
No, I think
It's all cross-gen, right? All cross-gen for $10 only.
No, they said they're gonna honor what they said about Horizon Forbidden West, but in the future they're committed to providing a $10 upgrade path for future titles to include Gran Turismo 7 and God of War.
That's what it is.
So they let you know that God of War and Gran Turismo, that yes, you can buy a game at $60 on your PS4, and when you get a PS5, you can pay the $10 to upgrade.
Dollar difference.
The PS5 version.
I want to go with the special guest and just get your thoughts behind this whole thing. Before I go to Eternal shit, I'm gonna go to my guy Akira, because I know you're a PlayStation fan. What's your take behind this, man? You being a PlayStation fan, do you care? Do you like what's your thought process? Oh, is he there? Did he mute himself? Let me see. Akira,
no, he's not muted.
I don't see his.
Maybe AFK.
Step back. Yeah, he probably step back. All right. So, Let me know when Kira comes back. I'm gonna go to my guy Shaddai bring the Xbox side of things. What's your take behind all this?
This is something that I be talking with my friends, which pretty much 90% of them are PlayStation guys.
Okay.
And trashing the Xbox, but I respect them. I'm the type of person that when you buy product, it should be pretty much free for upgrade. Me, it's not fair that you say one thing and all of a sudden you're not doing what you're misleading your fan base with, okay, we have it free, and then they're not doing it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much below the belt, and that's something that need to be addressed, which they did.
Yeah, kudos to them for that.
Sooner rather than later, but it's something that happened with Xbox too, with the
Xbox Live. Same exact situation.
Xbox Live. Yeah. So what they need to do, and I'm not talking about PlayStation, but more of companies, need to be a little bit more transparent to customers on your plan. It comes, especially prices, because that's the first thing that comes to our minds when it comes to buying products. How much is it gonna cost?
Mm-hmm.
It is something that it have been said in the past that it was gonna be an increase due to the fact that the games are becoming a little bit more expensive. And that's something that we need to hear. But the way they did it was pretty much below the belt. Hit them on the gut on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that at this very moment, that a lot of right now, what are we hearing lately? It will be scalpers taking a lot of the system. Pretty much a lot of the people, they're not having the systems.
Yeah, which is one problem.
So that's one of the major problems. When you make all these changes, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna treat your base that are still much on PlayStation 4 Pro? How are you gonna treat them? Are you gonna treat them like this? And we're like, man, $10 more. For me personally, it should be a free upgrade, because come on, you bought it. You bought it. Why are you like a lot of people be saying, you're double dipping? Double dipping. Why should I get paid for? Why should I be charged for an extra $10 when it should be free? $500 itself is already expensive, anyways.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much my take. Yes.
Okay.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but there behind that is pretty much you will be rewarded for a lot. The more, that's why they get their data for sales. If they sell, for example, got a Spider-Man, which I think they went to 12 million units sold, if I'm not mistaken. That's good. That's pretty good. It's good itself. That's pretty much revenue for you. For me, it should be free update, because I already bought it, so it shouldn't be extra charge, especially like it happened to also this one. Tsushima.
Yeah.
Features. That's something that it shouldn't be there either.
I mean, that's. I get what you're saying, and then that's fair in a sense as a consumer, what you would want. But at the end of the day, the transparency, Sony is finally saying, like, hey, listen, all these games are $10 regardless. Even you might complain whether, okay, maybe as a consumer it shouldn't be, but if you know what it is, like, it's either up to you to either buy it or don't buy it. But Sony set the stage.
Didn't he say that all of it is gonna be a free upgrade?
Well,
one of the articles
he talked about he talked about the games that he listed, which was Horizon Forbidden West was the last game that he listed on that in that article to be a free upgrade. That's why he's honoring it now after getting a lot of negative PR. But he's saying, like, for all the other cross-gen games, they're gonna be $10. I mean, it is what it is. That's their model. You know what I mean? And like, either fans could do what they want with that, either pay or not pay. But the thing is, in my eyes, I think he finally set the record straight. Like be correct. Like, this is what it is, and it's up to you to accept it or not. It's like saying Netflix increased the price of their subscription service or whatever. Either you decline or you pay. And once you pay, you understand what it is and you just keep it moving from there. But I think this is a little bit on the sense that the head of the PlayStation said that he was going to pay for it, or it's going to be free. And
But
then,
at the end of the day, that will tell you the
wasn't.
difference
And then now
between
it's
smart
back to-
delivery and this.
Yeah. I'm not trying to go. It's not really like a combative thing. It's more just in the sense of
No.
as PlayStation fans, how do you or gamers in general, how do you feel about this? And I want Omar to talk about it. And hopefully Akira's back. If not, we'll just move on from here. Unless anyone else has anything to say. Omar, man, your take behind this, man. I know you saw the backlash, and I'm sure you've seen people from both sides talk about it.
Fuck both. Yeah, no, fuck both sides.
Okay.
They lied. Plain and simple. I've been on Akira Space. I've been on... You know what Space is, right?
Yeah, Twitter Spaces. We
Twitter
got you.
Space, yeah.
Yeah, Twitter Space, yeah. I've been on Akira, I've been on Sick Humor, I've been on, I think, with Persona, J Body, I've been on their show. We have all said it. They lied. They should honor the deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then they should write a roadmap, which they did. And I kind of expected them to, to backtrack, because the amount of blowback, and I'm so glad they did that.
Mm-hmm.
They gave them blowback, because don't do some fucking shit like that. I'm not cool with that. We are not cool with that. If you want to ask for $10 upgrade, people are then, and this is not something you promised before, then people are free to decide. Do I pay for the $10 upgrade or not? Like, for someone like me, I am more than happy to pay for the $10 upgrade if I get the integrated of haptic feedback.
Mm-hmm.
When I play Ghost of Tsushima when I played Ghost of Tsushima on PlayStation 4, it was amazing. But when I play it now with the DualSense, it's next level for me.
Okay.
I feel everything I do. So there's that. I'm glad they didn't get away with this, because that was genuinely a dick move.
Let me ask you a
happy
question,
about it.
Omar. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, and shout out to King Thrash Gaming. He's asking who's. All right, so for instance, the ones that you would call fanboys, the Optimus Codes, the what's his other guy's name? Fuck.
Nah, Optimus. Wait a second. Optimus Code even called it out.
He called. Oh,
He
I saw
said it
the
a
spaces. It
multiple
was
times.
different.
I was literally in his face. We all agree.
No,
For the most
what's
part,
his name?
most of us all agreed.
No.
He even said, we're gonna talk a little bit about Horizon Forbidden West, and he called it how it is. He said they shouldn't have done that. They lied. They should fix that. And
Sorry.
then he wanted to focus more on the PlayStation event, but people kept coming.
No,
I'm
sorry.
talking about Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay, it wasn't called. I forgot the guy's name. I'm trying to remember his name, but someone else was basically saying that.
Yes, there were a few that defended it.
Where basically was defending it. Who cares about the PS4 and stuff like that. And that's what I'm saying.
Literally one person. There was literally one person that wrote an entire paragraph about it. I'm like, yeah, no, fuck out here with that shit. They lied, plain and simple. However, and this is me seeing what I'm seeing, which is PlayStation fans want to move on from the next generation to the next generation. What I mean by that is, when you look at the trophies, what's called not number, but percentage on PlayStation 4 and on the PlayStation 5 for specifically the Iki Island DLC. People have almost over 20% on PlayStation 5, for almost 4% or something like that on PlayStation 4. So people are genuinely ready to move on to the next generation.
No,
When
the PlayStation 5 owners are ready to move on.
sorry,
If you're unable to get a PlayStation 5 right now, you're not ready to move on.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like
So,
for
instance,
instance,
you're
yeah.
speaking as a PS5 owner, but you're
Yeah.
not speaking for the entire PlayStation community in this instance because there's only 10 million
About 10 million
PlayStation
on
5s
average, yeah.
active. Yeah, about 10 million active, and there's 110 PS4s that are in use right now.
or say
10 million, right?
yeah, or let's say so if the
Sold.
10 million from PS4 went to PS5, if you say it's 100 million PS4s
100
left,
million.
that's still a lot of people.
Or 90 or even 80 million.
Yeah.
It's 4 to 1, 5 to 1. So yeah.
So
I don't think that's a fair thing to say that the PlayStation community is ready to move on because the majority of the community hasn't transitioned yet.
that's I mean, I that would be fair in my
But does
opinion.
that,
thing I
but
will
does
say-
that come from an
I
unwillingness
will-
to is that hold on? Does that come
Go
from
ahead.
an unwillingness to upgrade to a PlayStation 5, or the unavailability to be able to move to a PlayStation 5?
I believe it's largely unavailability.
Unavailability.
Largely
So
unavailability.
yeah, so then you can't turn around and say that they're not willing to move on because they might just want to move on. They just
no, I'm
can't
saying
do
they're
it
not
right
ready
now
I
because
have-
That's not what he's saying.
I'm
I
saying
have
that because they
proof.
don't have access to a new console, they're not ready to move on. They still want to play.
oh
Gran
no,
Turismo
they are
7.
definitely ready to move on. And I have
But by the
proof
time
for
that comes out, they most likely will have a
They might have-
PlayStation
they
5.
may
The
have one.
biggest
Yeah.
proof for that is Miles Morales. When you look at Miles Morales says PlayStation 4 versus PlayStation 5, people have gone so far to not even buy the game on PlayStation 4, including myself, wait for getting a PlayStation 5 and then buy Miles Morales. And they did that also with the
That's
Icky
a good
Island
point.
DLC.
That's a good point.
And that's why I'm
Well,
saying they are
One
ready
thing,
to move on.
the sales are gonna look better on the PlayStation 5 because the hardcore community is the one that purchased it first, whereas the majority of PlayStation 4 owners are a casual gamer base.
That's also true.
Yeah,
but-
it doesn't
but-
matter
but-
how
but-
casual
but-
what
The
is
early
hardcore.
adopters of Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 are the hardcore audience.
But hold on. I mean, fair. But the only thing that would like mess that theory up is that Spider-Man is not really a hardcore thing. It's really more casual in the sense that the Spider-Man community is global. Even so much that the casuals would buy it. So Omar
Yeah, just
might make a
look at
point
the sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the sales of Marvel Spider-Man as an example of how
Exactly.
big that did.
Unless you want to say that Miles Morales isn't as a big name than Peter Parker and Spider-Man. That could be a different
He's definitely
argument.
not.
Right, that could be a different
He's
argument.
not as big. So
No, I guess we'll see if, with
to do-
Horizon.
to-
I guess we'll find out with Horizon which side
We
sold
need
more,
to
and
look-
then we could go from that.
What we could also do is just look at the sales of other games that have been cross-gen and
That's a good-
compare
yeah.
numbers there. Like, what other games have come out that have been on PlayStation 5
Ah.
and PlayStation 4?
No,
Big Island.
no, hold on.
What's
Destruction All-Star.
No. I got something
Are you
that
going to
hold on, guys.
first party? Are we only doing first party?
Guys, I got something that would make more sense with Pharaoh because he's right. Majority of gamers in general are casual gamers. A game that is for casuals normally would be something like 2K. What are the 2K PS5 numbers versus the PS4 numbers? That's how you would know, really. You know what I mean? Like target a casual game and go from there. I don't know. Usually Dante's the one that would
Well,
bring
2K
this up.
isn't out. The new 2K isn't out yet, so you have to do
or
like
Madden, any casual based game, and then you will see the difference from that.
Call of Duty casual?
Yeah, it's more casual than Ghost of Tsushima. I mean, it's a good game, but it's still. I mean, your average casual person's not gonna buy that. They're gonna buy their CODs and 2Ks and FIFAs.
The average casual gamer does not care about a Sony first party game.
No, they don't. Not in general.
That-
The only
that's why
ones
they-
are Nintendo first party, like Animal
Yeah,
Crossing.
like,
and
they
shit.
don't care about Xbox or PlayStation first party. Most casual gamers, they care about whatever they care about. COD, 2K,
the casual
Madden,
franchises, the casual franchise, GTA.
Overwatch, Fortnite.
Yeah.
You know,
Are you doing research, Dante, till I do that?
I think he's looking it up now. But
Okay.
does anyone else have a say on this before we move on? Before we talk
Akira,
about
you here?
I do.
Yeah, I'm here. I mean, I did have a little bit of a say on it. I
Because
don't really
I
think
mean,
that
it's
PlayStation.
not that big of a deal. Because I mean, they
Yeah.
went against it. If had they not done that, we would have been fucking grilling the shit out of them. But they did.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad that they changed their decision, but I'm glad that they decided to create an upgrade path.
Yeah.
For gamers in the future, because it does make sense to do so.
Yeah.
Like it is the practical thing to do for the consumer.
Yes.
But I don't necessarily. I don't think they're necessarily being
might not agree with
transparent in this end.
You might not agree with the upgrade path in the sense that it costs money, but you have to agree that like there's an option there, regardless if it costs money or not. There's an option.
I do like that the option is there. Yeah. I don't like. I'm not really gonna give my necessarily personal opinion how I feel about the $70 whatever, because we've already done that plenty of times.
Exactly. Like at that point,
I don't necessarily think that they're being transparent. I think it's more like I think they just don't want to avoid. I think they're avoiding telling you everything at once to avoid the media backlash. Because like if the PlayStation showcase for the reveal for the PlayStation 5 would have been, if they would have came out all with it like Xbox did with the Xbox One and be like, oh, it's gonna be a $10 upgrade fee for every game that you already own that's first party to PlayStation. So Ghost of Tsushima is gonna have a $10. Whatever you buy, you're going to pay extra $10, even though you already own the game and stuff like that. That wouldn't have not. It would have not gone well. It wouldn't have went over well.
Yeah.
To a mass audience. But if they give you a piece at a time, they'll see what you'll go for and what you won't, and then they'll react accordingly based on how the consumer reacts to the news that they get.
Well, what helps with that is
I think that's kind of what we're seeing.
2K and Madden already like they took blunt of that $10 increase, and then like now it's accepted. And then I want to hold on a second, Omar. I want to caution the Xbox guys for saying, the $10 price increase. Who's to say that Xbox won't then also increase to 70? Because once that happens, there's gonna be receipts. That's why internal strategy. Be careful. Like, because it wasn't
already got games.
Right, hold on. But
70.
once it becomes 70, like when their
Xbox
first party
doesn't have a 70.
No, they don't yet. I'm talking about first party. I'm talking about first party. Once that happens,
we're talking first party.
You're gonna have to make a decision. Like, are you gonna pay the 10? Well, I guess with Game Pass, you're safe. But I'm talking about like Noof Noofkin, right? The dude plays nothing but physical copies. Salute to you, Noof. Now, once it goes from 60 to 70. And are you still gonna pay for that $10 increase, or are you one of those like you pay with?
Well, he decided to go to. He had no other choice, so they forced him to get the Game Pass now. So
wait, he went Game Pass? Oh, if they got Noof, it's over. It's over. If they got Noof, it's over.
Realistically, as Xbox Game Pass grows, even if the games go $70, we also got to deal with the reality, like just like Netflix and Disney,
it'll go up.
Else, subscription services go up in price eventually too.
Yeah.
So I mean, you enjoy this $9.99 while it lasts, but I mean, there's a perfectly reasonable expectation that in 5 years, Xbox Game Pass is $15 a month, and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate is $20 a month.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It's possible.
Go ahead, Omar.
Yeah. I mean.
One thing I want to add for that, not for the Xbox side, but PlayStation. One of the reasons why they are saying you need to pay for the upgrade, which is, I thought about it, and it makes sense. You know how PlayStation 4 games 60,
Really doesn't.
PlayStation 5 70, right?
Yeah.
If it is a PlayStation 4 game, it's 60. I buy a PlayStation 4 version, upgrade for PlayStation 5 version. I'm getting DualSense integration, all that jazz for free. SSD integration for free.
When have you ever upgraded your hardware and had to pay for the software to work on hardware?
Ray tracing.
Like that was the
ray tracing. Ray tracing. No.
Ray tracing.
You set yourself up. I'll give you a big example. My 1080 does not do ray tracing properly. I have to upgrade to get a software feature or a hardware feature.
To at least to a free
but you're not paying extra for the game.
Yeah, you are. Look at consoles. Last generation consoles couldn't handle ray tracing for shit. Look at Crysis Remastered couldn't handle ray tracing for shit. But you
Doesn't
look at
have
you look at current gen consoles can handle ray tracing really well.
and have
People
SSD.
You buy the new console, but you don't then pay more for the game to experience.
I don't know
I see-
because
I see
Sony's
what he
playing
means.
because
I see what he's
no,
saying.
hold
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
But you are because you're paying $70 for you're paying $70 for a lot of these brand new games, whether they be first party from PlayStation or third party from
But
EA.
I'm saying that's not typically the case. When you buy a new GPU for your PC, you don't pay for an upgraded experience with that game. You just play the game.
I see it all. It
with the
upscales
benefits
to whatever
of
you
that
have.
new GPU that you purchased.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you
that
don't,
one
you
is
don't
true.
have you don't
That's
you don't
true.
have to
PC's
pay an
different, though.
additional
PC's
fee
different.
for the hardware features
Yeah.
that you just for hardware features that you just purchased to be unlocked. Basically.
Well, that's because they're afraid to sell $70 games on PC.
They'd be fucking suicidal to do that. That's why PC's not playing games.
That would be gun too far. That would be barrel in the mouth. Suicidal.
Yeah. There's no rioting. There's just not happening. It's just not happening.
I'll give you the perfect instance. So there was a big misinformation thing a couple months ago when Xbox released their official Bluetooth headset.
Yeah.
And then people made this big thing. Your headset will not work unless you buy Dolby Atmos.
Yeah.
So why would you buy the headset when you have to pay to get to actually get the audio? It's no you can say that exact same thing and apply it to PlayStation 5 and the actual games.
Well,
By the way, I'd also like to point out, not necessarily for software, but increased graphics and stuff. They have on PC on multiple occasions tried to make you buy and have asked you to buy upgraded versions. Like, for example, I don't recall if they made you pay for it, but I'm just using it as an example because it's on my screen right now. But when Borderlands Game of the Year edition came out, it boasted some improved graphics and better stuff like that. And like in that instance, if they wanted you to pay for it, you're effectively paying for better software on a better PC.
Yeah,
because you've upgraded your PC in that time already with most likely a new GPU. Because there's a big time gap between the original and then the Game of the Year Enhanced Edition coming out.
Yeah,
and then they're asking you to buy. They're asking you to buy it again, the same game with all these graphical enhancements, and it will work on that new GPU you've bought.
Gotcha. All right, let's shift gear here and let's.
Now, hold on. To add on to what I was saying about the pricing, I couldn't find. So I did try it on two separate casual games that I feel would have represented it well. One of them being the new Madden that released, and the other one being Call of Duty Cold War, because that happened. Problem is, and this usually happens, and I've noticed this only happens when there's no real bragging rights behind it. They didn't release I can't find anything about them releasing like individual numbers on what sold on what console. They've only done a lump sum amount, like it sold like Call of Duty Cold War sold like 5 million, which is You want to talk about transparency? That's something I'd like to see. Hold on, Omar. I am talking. Let you talk. I didn't interrupt you. Shut up while I'm talking.
Hold on. Go ahead, Dante. Finish it, Omar.
Talking about transparency. That's one thing that I'd actually like to see is them being transparent on where the games are being sold, on what platforms, and how many sold on that platform.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, go ahead, Omar.
You can actually look it up via comparing the trophy percentage. PlayStation 5 versus PlayStation 4. That's how you can a little bit understand, see.
What on VG charts?
What would you look that at, Omar?
Let me see.
If it's that easy, I'm surprised you didn't do it to prove your point.
All right, find one for the latest COD.
I'll try to find it.
All right.
Meanwhile, we'll talk.
All right, we'll move on to the next thing. PlayStation 5 showcase. Is it this Thursday? Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Don't get Thursday.
Go ahead, Jubang, man, with your shit mic, man. Go ahead, man.
You know what? Anyways, like I said, I'm using my headphones right now. But I'm just happy that they kind of saw the light. Like, I'm surprised as many people came out about it as they did, as far as being against the whole fucking not free upgrade issue. Yeah. So that's all I'm happy about. I mean, as a PS5 owner, did it affect me? No, but it's about principle. So if you're gonna promise something, do it. But this also means I can now get the PS5 version for $60 instead of $70. So I'm gonna take advantage of that too.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. If anyone else has
I was kind of
anything
curious
to say.
about that one.
God damn it.
Nah, I think we're done on this.
Okay, thank you. All right. We'll move on to the PlayStation 5 showcase that's happening this was it Thursday, September 9th, 1 p.m. Pacific, I believe. Is that right? Yeah, PDT.
Oh, finally.
All right, so I'm gonna go to the PlayStation guys first. Man, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's almost
Shouldn't have left
a year,
you.
I think.
Without a don't beat the steps. Like, it's been a minute for PlayStation with the showcase. What are your thoughts, Omar? I think you posted something about that, replying to Corey. I think it was Corey Barlog's post. But what's your feeling behind this? Are you happy? Are you excited?
Oh, me,
What do you expect from PlayStation? Seeing how they skipped on E3, Gamescom, Tokyo Game Show. This is their first showcase in a long time. So your thoughts?
I've said it on VGP on other posts. I have never had any issue with PlayStation skipping on this event. I said it. When PlayStation have something to show, they will show it. We have seen the debacle that was Square Enix show at E3. We have seen the debacle that was Capcom show at E3.
Yeah,
I don't need my time to be wasted.
Okay.
If you got something to show me, then do something about it. So not, then keep working on it. I don't need to, and I'm so glad PlayStation have taken that road. And now all eyes
we don't know that yet. We'll know that after the show.
This is what his take on it. That's
now
what I'm curious.
we definitely know. I don't think PlayStation is that stupid enough to have an event, hype it up, and announce it a week beforehand, and then come with, okay, we're gonna show you Death Stranding, we're gonna show you Deathloop for the trillionth time. No, this is not it. I'm expecting new IPs. I'm expecting God of War gameplay showcase. Why I am expecting God of War? Because when they held PlayStation, what's called the small show? PlayStation.
What do they call it? State of Play.
State of Play, yeah. Every time they held a State of Play, they were super transparent about it.
Yep.
They kept saying, okay, look, this State of Play gonna have no God of War, no VR, no Horizon Forbidden West gameplay. Stay tuned, we're gonna show you that. When it was Horizon Forbidden West gameplay time, they came out with the State of Play saying, look forward to the next State of Play, we're gonna showcase Horizon Forbidden West. They were transparent like a motherfucker. So when it comes to this event, they didn't tell me don't expect God of War. They did come out and say don't expect VR2. So they have been.
I think we're gonna see God of War. I think that's a fair expectation.
No, it's not God of War only. We're gonna see new IPs. We are definitely gonna see new IPs. I don't think you're laughing, but
no, I'm not laughing. I'm just saying it's a 40-minute show, and you're saying we're definitely gonna see new IP.
I was about to turn around and say I want a fucking transcript of this so I can read it off.
That's like you're taking a photo. Like, are you sure you want to?
I want this on that old fax machine paper so I can unfold it like the List of Jericho and just fucking read it all.
I think the safe word is I hope there's new IP. Not saying if you want to say definitely, that's you know.
I think you'll see one or two, but at the same, ultimately, it's a marketing show for what's coming out. Relatively soon. I don't think you're getting any new IPs in 2022.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck when they
you might get one.
Hold on, you guys are cutting Omar's section. Omar, what I know you're hyped for the show. What do you expect? What would be a W for you, and what would be an L? Like how we normally do.
And
Go ahead.
W for me will be PlayStation committing to new crazy IPs. Give me that. Give me more of that. And
I have a
L
question.
would be
What new IPs do you want? Because I think we definitely. Because I don't want there to be any fucking wiggle room on this. Like I want to nail you like Christ on the cross. If this happens, I need specifics. Are you thinking indie IPs? Are you thinking like one A,
First
double A, or
party?
triple A?
I
And
want
first party, third party. Like what do you think?
okay.
What are you saying?
IPs I would hope to get triple A first party, triple A third party, second party, remakes the like of Legend of Dragoon, remake the like of Rogue Galaxy, because Herman Holt came out and stated that he is a fan of old school games and franchises, and he wants to bring some back. And one game I hope. Apparently, PlayStation registered a new infamous domain, so I am literally counting my stars and hoping that they have a new infamous.
Omar, as Hawkeye once turned around and said, "Don't give me hope. Just don't. Don't give me hope."
I mean, Corey Bala kind of hyped it, saying it's gonna be a show. So.
Dude, I love the Infamous series. I'm one of those few people that actually defended Infamous Second Son as an actual good game.
I gotta play it. I mean, apparently it's in Seattle, so now I definitely gotta play it. So
it was released a little bit unfinished. What I mean by that, there were a few power ups that you should have gotten your hands on.
Omar, do you have it digitally on yours?
Sorry?
Do you have it digitally?
No. Infamous, I have.
Hold up. I'm gonna go and grab something to show you how much of an Infamous fan I am. 1 second.
Okay, but I will continue on talking. Look, Infamous, before Spider-Man was a thing on PlayStation, Infamous was my favorite superhero game. Over a game like Batman, as much as I enjoyed the Arkham series.
Spider-Man was on PlayStation before Infamous.
Yes, but still, Infamous was genuinely that dope for me.
831, was it 138?
Oh, that
Destin's that?
Beamy,
Oh,
I think, yeah.
Yes, this. Oh wait, hold on. Which side?
So,
for God's sake. Yeah, this is actually his hat from in game because I got the special edition.
Nice.
like, I am
You nerd.
super excited for that showcase. And one more thing, how PlayStation is taking this seriously and how they are not gonna fuck it up. Kojima is hosting an event to showcase Death Stranding director cut 1 day before the PlayStation event. That let me know PlayStation are not gonna showcase Death Stranding director cut on that event. That's one thing. You have also PlayStation a few days ago, a day or two ago, they had a tweet or something about Deathloop. That let me know we're not gonna see Deathloop at that PlayStation event. I genuinely believe PlayStation event is going to be strictly what's called new IPs, a few returning titles, like for example Pragmata. We might see gameplay from Pragmata. We might see I really hope we see a little bit gameplay. Like we can see gameplay, 5-minute gameplay for every IP, and I would be more than happy with that. I just don't want CGI.
Cool.
Also, one thing is super important. PlayStation event is not that. After the PlayStation event, they're gonna talk with developers. They're gonna have a talk and stuff like that. So there is a room for a lot of things to happen, and I'm just hyped for it. As for answering Dante, would be I hope to see a new triple A Japanese IP, like what's called?
True.
Sorry.
Astro?
No, not
I mean, they
Astro.
closed down Japan studio and
No.
refocused everything into Astro's since it was so popular.
Might
so.
be a new Astro game.
No,
Yeah,
not
that's what I'm saying. You might get a AAA Astro.
There is now even a rumor, which I hope is true, that PlayStation is investing in a new studio in Japan with multiple ex-devs from Capcom and stuff like that to be focused on solely AAA JRPG, Japanese IPs with JRPG and stuff like that. That would be dope. That would be
That'd be
genuinely
interesting,
dope.
man. So Omar
Yeah.
is super excited. He's ready to go, man.
Yeah,
We
he's,
go,
Yeah,
Akira,
he's
man.
ready
You
to go.
here, motherfucker? Is he-
I think okay. So what
he
happened
sleep?
with Akira, and this is just my opinion. He's been hosting spaces for like 2, 3, 4 hours, and he lives in Japan, and he's mad tired. I'm pretty
Fair
sure he
enough.
fell asleep.
You might have fell asleep.
Can I give my thoughts on this showcase and what I hope to see? Because I'm going to emphasize hope.
All right, before I go to you, I gotta go to a special guest first, man. Eternal should die,
Okay.
man. What's from the Greens perspective? What is your take on PlayStation Showcase? What do you think is gonna happen? What do you hope to see? And what would be a W for you?
Wait, away from the fanboyism that I am. I'm kidding. No, but I'm gonna be very neutral. But at the same time, some things that I like about PlayStation and I hope to see. Right. Not too long ago, because sometimes once in a while that I be writing with Drew Murray.
Yeah,
He works for Insomniac now.
yeah. Shout out to Drew.
So there were some posts that way before and Clank was announced, there were some cross games through the Rifts.
Oh,
One
I
of them
see
was
what
Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah.
Some of them was.
that'd be,
I wouldn't be
pretty big for it.
surprised.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah, so
I wouldn't be.
true.
I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if Sunset Overdrive will be announced the PlayStation first time.
Yeah,
And a sequel behind
it.
Yeah, that'd be
They put
an
an-
interesting take.
Announce a
Hold
remake,
on, give me a second, because I'm pretty sure.
and then announce the
But the thing
second
is,
part.
Xbox is always open to a deal. So I wouldn't say it's impossible, but PlayStation would have to be willing to play ball with them.
Alright,
Xbox is always
so
open to a deal.
let's put it this way: if they plays MLB The Show on Game Pass, it wouldn't be too much of a problem.
Right. That's a good point.
I
Okay,
wouldn't be
so-
Well,
That's different.
well, the thing is, they went through MLB for that. They didn't go through Sony. for
That's
that, so that's a
different.
little
Yeah,
bit different.
that's what I'm
It's a little bit
gonna
different.
I'd just like to
But
point out.
like you said, it wouldn't be, it wouldn't be hard to come into something between them two. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I just want to add on
I say
something.
Xbox is
hold on,
willing to
hold
make
on.
a deal.
One second. Good, Dante.
I
real
don't.
quick,
I don't
and then
think they.
Eternal.
I don't think they need to, because as of May 4th, from what I'm reading, developer Insomniac Games currently owns the IP, and the original game has only ever been featured on Xbox console and PC. According to documents linked in the tweet, the trademark was issued on April 24th that indicates the property is still owned by
remember
Insomniac.
that.
So they wouldn't even need to talk to Xbox if they own the IP, because unless they've got like an exclusive deal, like a lifetime exclusive deal, they could just put it on PlayStation.
Dante, they don't own the IP anymore.
That is correct.
They were
That is
bought. They were
correct.
bought
No,
out by
they
Sony.
own
Sony
the
owns the
IP.
IP.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like the trademark is underneath the Sony umbrella. It is in Insomniac's hands, and unless they have an end of time contract with Xbox, they're free to put Sunset Overdrive
Do whatever
wherever
they
they
want.
damn well please.
The same thing with Alan Wake Remaster when it was announced. It was the same thing.
Yeah.
The same thing.
So
So for that's one of them. The other one is Forsaken from Square Enix.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
So that,
Forspoken, yeah.
they,
Forspoken.
I remember when I saw that, I'm like, wow, the physics of using nature as your weapon. So I wouldn't be surprised for Forsaken. They haven't said anything about it. The other one would be Kenna. Kenna is this month.
Forspoken, I think.
Forspoken.
Forspoken,
Why
I
would
believe.
you want
Yeah.
to see? Wait a second. Why would you want precious time to see Kenna when Kenna is releasing this month?
Because I will tell you one thing. One,
'Cause
to
it'll be
hype
like
it
in
up.
a sizzler reel.
Yeah, pretty much.
It'll be
That's
like
more
in
like a
sizzler
filler. They did it. Hey, they did it with Ratchet and Clank for one showcase.
Mm-hmm.
They did it. What was the other one? I know they did it with two different games.
Probably
I
Returnal.
know they did it with Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
It was another one. I forgot.
That's a
They did
Was
that.
it,
so I
was it
wouldn't be
Demon
surprised.
Souls? Was it Demon
That's a
Souls that
different-
you think?
Yeah, one. I think it was not. It was another game than that because they took it for specifically that game other than Ratchet and Clank. But I know they did that, and
But
they
this
needed. They're
is
gonna
a
do.
difference. This is imagine PlayStation 5 reveal. This is such an event.
I'll tell you something, and I'm gonna cut it right there, not in a bad way. Thing is, they should not put all the stuff because one is not E3. All the stuff on the table because you have to keep it on mind. At the end of this month is Tokyo Game Show. They have another
No,
one.
They are not going there.
They're not going to Tokyo Game Show. They already said they're not going.
Oh, they're not
PlayStation.
going. Okay, I
Yeah,
thought
so
they did.
they can pretty much walk in and put their balls on the table and walk away at that point because they've got nothing else to do. They could just show everything.
I'm very surprised they didn't.
Also, Square Enix is gonna have an event at Tokyo Game Show. They may show Forspoken, not Forsaken, just trying to correct the name, and Final Fantasy 16.
Okay.
I see that. I don't think they're going to show Final Fantasy 16. I was actually going to put my money on
16
Sony breaking the news on Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2, and then them going into more detail, and then Square Enix going into more detail at Tokyo.
I'm with him on that one. I'm with him on
Too
that.
Final
early.
Fantasy 7 is not getting announced till next year at the.
You think Remake 2 is gonna come out before or after 16?
That's a
After.
tough one. I think
it's
Final Fantasy
before.
7 Remake comes out in 2023. I don't know about Final Fantasy.
I don't
I
think
wouldn't be
16 is
surprised.
gonna come out after, dude. In my opinion,
There's a reason why I think they're gonna do
They already
Remake
have
2
the
before
graphics, everything
16.
set up. Yeah.
The reason why I think they're going to do that before 16 is the reason why they're doing Final Fantasy 7 in the way that they're doing is because they need the capital.
And I wouldn't
that
be surprised if
console
they
can
showed
go-
at the Tokyo Game Show either. I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised for 30 seconds.
I don't think we see anything of that game until 2022. I think the game comes out in 2023. I think you might get a teaser. You might get a teaser, but I don't think you're really going to see anything.
I don't know. I don't think 16 is coming out before Remake 2 Part 2.
I probably leave it for E3 of next
Yeah,
year.
I guess
That's
we'll
way
see.
big. That's
All right.
way
That's-
too big. The other one that I have on mine would be I wouldn't be surprised if they show like Cooper. Is pretty much running around.
Who'd be making
That's
that?
a rumor. Wouldn't be surprised. Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch is pretty big. You know what I mean?
don't-
They got Ghost 2
away
under
from-
production.
I don't think. Okay, so
I
the
wouldn't-
problem is Sucker Punch is already working on Ghost of Tsushima 2. There is also
That's a small studio.
now the rumors working on an Infamous game.
Yeah.
So if
I
that
think
is the
Infamous.
case,
Nah, I think they're not
I-
gonna go for that.
I don't think they're gonna have a place for Sly Cooper. So it's either going to be Sly Cooper or Infamous.
Okay.
And from the way PlayStation have moved right now, they just registered a domain for Infamous. So
Gotcha. All right. Let me.
And plus, like the thing is with Ghost of Tsushima 2, we don't know how far it could still be in pre-production where they're still like doing all the storyboards and shit on like how we're gonna do the story.
But I do have one that I have on mind that I wish for PlayStation to bring back.
What's that?
SOCOM.
With who? Who to make it?
Good question. Do you believe in God?
They need a
Who would
multiplayer
make it?
game after Lawbreakers.
It would
Who will make
right
it?
now. It would have to be in my mind. It had to be Naughty Dog because they're hiring for.
No,
they're
There's no
hiring
fucking
for
way they're
multiplayer
making.
now,
There's no
right?
way. There's no way they're
No.
making SOCOM.
actually, there is a rumor.
Well, who else is doing multiplayer for them? Like,
Well,
who else has a
That's
multiplayer
what
team?
I'm about to say.
Sony Bend.
There is a rumor Guerrilla Games is making a multiplayer game, and that could be SOCOM.
I wouldn't want Gorilla to make SOCOM.
Because
No, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind seeing them make Mag 2 actually, because I mean they showed that they could do decent multiplayer, in my opinion, with Killzone 2 and 3. So give them the budget, let them have over 200 odd players. Fuck, I'll take Mag 2. I'll buy a PlayStation 5 for that.
So right now we still with Battle Royale. Why not SOCOM?
But okay, the thing is,
what team is available to make it?
Right. That's what I was gonna say. When we think about PlayStation, because obviously outside of third party or exclusive deals with other people, you gotta look at their first party studios and see which games they're already making and which ones that we know of rumor wise. Right now, the games that we don't know that they're making, Sony Ben's new game, we don't know. And some of these studios have multiple studios. We don't know who made the Dreams? Are they still working on Dreams or whatever? Yeah, we don't know who's making the new San Diego studio, right? Who else? Who else has? Oh, the smaller studio, the indie studio that made
You know what?
Concrete Genie.
Journey.
Concrete Genie. House Marquis probably they're way too early. They just finished their Returnal game.
That's way too early. Yeah.
I'm talking about Concrete Genie.
We might see a return of
Pixel
DLC.
Opus. Pixel Opus. You don't know what Pixel Opus is making. So far, like out of the big studios, the only big one that we don't know that are making anything is really Sony Ben.
No,
Right.
we
Who else?
actually.
But
I actually.
So-
a Cali team would be perfect to make a SOCOM game because they could, go and visit the Navy SEALs and observe their
I wanna
training and stuff like that.
I want to comment on that. There's also the Malaysian studio. They're hyping that up, and that's rumored to be making the next Uncharted.
Who? Which studio?
A Malaysian from Malaysia.
Meridian.
Are they even is that a first?
Malaysia.
So you're saying Naughty Dog is going to give someone else their IP to run with?
You said
Sony
Meridian,
Ben
and all I can think of is Super Metroid.
Of course.
All right. Well, let's.
I mean, like,
While I look it up, I want Omar. I want Dante to go through his thought process on this.
Yeah, like I said, the only two things I'm hoping for from the Sony showcase is Sony finally committing to the PC platform, because like I am currently sick and tired of being blueballed of the will they won't they bullshit, because like with the acquisitions that they've been making, with the leaks that have been coming out, with the Nathan Drake collection, like I want, we're talking about transparency. I want a solidified goddamn thing. Will you be committing to this platform that is willing to give you their money if you're willing to put out fucking good products? Like, we're willing to do it. Xbox has already seen the fruits of that labor, so it's basically an open market, and they've got that working relationship with Epic Store, so they can just put all the stuff on Epic Store, because that's where the Nathan Drake collection leaks came from. From the back end of Epic Store.
Real quick, Dante, before so I'm just looking on the PlayStation pushsquare.com. Sony has 15 first-party studios, and they have them listed right here. And I guess you could go down and see which ones we know they're working on, which ones we don't.
Because I was gonna say, remember, Japan studio is closed.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let Dante finish his thing, and I'm gonna go through these because they break it down in 3 categories. Go ahead.
What I was gonna say, Final Fantasy VII for PC, but Square Enix is going to the Tokyo Game Show, so that I'm hoping I'll hear that there. As far as I would say the only other thing I would actually think of Sony being able to show. Now, we've already seen a trailer for it at E3, but we haven't seen gameplay, and I don't know how far along we are into being able to see gameplay. But I feel like being the first ones to show gameplay for Elden Ring would be a big catch for Sony as far as like eyes on their show.
I have a question.
Like
I have a question with Elden Ring, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Dante. I thought Xbox had the marketing deal with that, and also like recent times it switched over to Sony. I wonder what happened there.
Well, PlayStation just made a deal with Kadokawa. They bought shares from Kadokawa.
Because
also Kadokawa is in the anime business.
Because I was saying, because Elden Ring was showcased first on Xbox stage in E3.
That is correct.
And then ever since then, it's been all PlayStation. That's just interesting. I mean, I know it's going to release on Xbox. I just find that interesting how that changed. But go ahead. Sorry, Dante.
Also, there is 1 second before you go, Dante. There's also the rumored new IP being created by From Software. Continue, Dante.
And just because I know it triggers the ever-loving fuck out of Jubei, Mag 2. Because a man has to dream.
I like
a man
Mag.
has to fucking dream.
I like
Mag was ahead of its time. It got and Jubei likes to talk all his shit, but Mag was ahead of its time as far as like a big, massive online game, and got fucked over by the fact that shortly after it released, the whole fucking hacking thing happened.
Yeah, the servers got shitted
Oh
on.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like servers went down for what, like 2-3
It's been a
whole goddamn months, which in gaming, which for gaming is a fucking eternity.
It's RIP for a multiplayer game. We move on to the next thing, and that's what happened.
Would you
COD came
want
out.
But yeah, as far as like a SOCOM game, I would say do you believe in God? Because I believe only a miracle would bring that into existence. But I said Mag 2.
I would love a SOCOM
but
game.
no, like a SOCOM game, like no, I do actually have to agree with the Xbox guy over there. No, like they do need, and Omar brought up the fact that they could be investing in creating a new studio. They need a dedicated multiplayer studio. One that can help studios with, like, they basically need a Raven software. They need a Raven software.
I gotta ask you one
What's
thing.
that face you're pulling? Are you trying to think of a rebuttal? Because I mean, because what I'm thinking of is a Raven software in the context of Raven software handles the multiplayer for all of the Call of Duties. Sony needs that kind of studio to help other studios work on their multiplayer components while these other studios are working on their single players. Like, again, think of the scenario.
Respawn.
I would agree with that. But I'm just thinking more in the context of like a dedicated, because Respawn works on the single player and the multiplayer. I'm thinking of just solely a studio dedicated to multiplayer.
The reason why I said that is because the first person that comes to my mind is Vincent Pella. So that I'm like Respawn because they know how to work with the multiplayer. And the thing is that I agree with you. They need somebody that is really focused on the multiplayer aspect.
Yeah, guys. Sorry.
There we go. Fine.
Sorry. Sorry, I lost connection, man. I'm sorry about
No,
that.
you're good.
The reason why I say all that is
Sorry,
because if they had that, say, fucking 7 years ago, if they had a big decent studio like say like 100+ staff studio dedicated to multiplayer only, Last of Us Part 2 most likely would have launched with multiplayer.
Agreed. I mean,
Okay, are you here?
yeah, he's here now. I'm gonna go to Akira next.
Sorry, I lost connection, man. Sorry.
No, you're good. But before I go to you, Akira, I just want to just showcase what they have so far, according to Push Square. Right, these are the studios that Sony has. They broke it down to Japan, Europe, and North America. So if you go to Japan, ForwardWorks is a mobile studio, so we'll just skip them. Polyphony Digital is working on Gran Turismo 7. We already know that. Team Asobi, they just lost the Playroom. The current project's unknown. We would assume it has something to do with Astrobot. Next studio's Europe, Guerrilla Games. They're working on Horizon Forbidden West and the Rumor online multiplayer shooter that Omar was talking about. Now this could be a SOCOM or hopefully it's, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Guerrilla making. I mean, Killzone was so shit. Like I want them something different.
Guerrilla Games knows how to do like they know how to put a multiplayer game together as well. Like that's the thing. Like Killzone. Killzone. Like even the Xbox guy knows that Killzone had a decent good multiplayer. Yeah.
Wait, the only thing that I didn't like is because they were charging $10 extra for multiplayer for the first one from the PlayStation 4. I forgot what is it, Shadow something.
Shadowfall. Yeah,
Shadowfall. That was bad.
Well,
you're asking for $60 from me now. I was willing to pay that back when I was mainly a PlayStation, Sony guy, console guy. But then you ask for an additional money. I'm like, bitch, I already bought your fucking game.
That's how I felt, and the thing is, the game is really good until they charge those $10. I'm like, oh, okay, I just left it like that.
We'll keep moving, and there's rumors that they hired the ex Vegas dev to make a multiplayer game. So it could be that. I don't know. We'll
Wait,
see.
Rainbow Six Vegas?
Yeah, didn't they hire the ex dev for that? Who led that program? Sony did.
That is fascinating.
No,
So-
what they have is Guerrilla Games have what's called not Counter Strike.
The guy who created Vegas, not Vegas, the one that's successful Ubisoft game.
Ubisoft.
Yeah, they hired him.
Yeah, Rainbow Six
Siege,
Vegas.
sorry, Siege.
If
I
they
mean
hired
Siege.
him, then
I meant
because
Siege. Yeah.
Rainbow
if they hired him, then we
Yeah.
are looking at like maybe not SOCOM, but a tactical SOCOM like shooter then, because
Yeah.
like
Which is-
Rainbow Six, like Vegas 1, Vegas 2, even some of them before were very on that tactical edge.
Yeah, I meant Siege, but I'm hoping it might be a SOCOM. If it's he's leading it and it's not like regular guerrilla staff, then okay, maybe. But we'll see.
Or
No,
Cypher Filter.
that's
No,
Tony Ben.
I was actually going to bring that up with Ben
That's
Studio
We'll
because
get to Ben.
because I don't know if they've said that it's a brand new IP, but they said they are working on a new IP. But if it's a brand new IP, my dreams of Siphon Filter are dead. But I feel like if it is a Siphon Filter game, this will make a lot of people who were very salty about Days Gone 2 being cancelled very fucking happy.
Yeah, how's Marquee? Obviously they just made Returnal, so their new game won't be for a while.
House Marquee might come with a DLC for Eternal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be Returnal based.
Yeah, but that's not a new game.
Boss Rush.
Yeah, SIE London Studio. They're the ones who made they're the VR studio. Their current project unknown. Their last one that was Blood and Sand, I think. Was their last game.
Yeah, so,
good.
we shouldn't
Good
see anything from them
VR
until
game.
VR is announced.
So
Good VR
exactly.
game hampered by being on the PlayStation VR.
Yeah, so VR 2, I guess, whenever that is. And then Media Molecule, last game, Dreams, and it's ongoing. So it might be one of those things they'll just stick with that throughout the life cycle. So I don't expect anything from Media Molecule other than Dreams and just keep adding to that.
They might announce an upgrade to the engine or something like that for PS5.
Mm-hmm.
XDev is an external development studio. They're the ones like what Dante was talking about. They focus on helping out first party games come to fruition, or at least third party, whatever, like Returnal, Until Dawn, Detroit.
I mean, from
Sorry.
different parts of the world, XDev is kind of a
global.
I mean,
studio.
it's like Sony's kind of like scouting talents from different parts of the world. And I mean, her last time I heard was China, Korea, Malaysia, India is being talked about now.
Nice.
Singapore, Taiwan is also another possible locations that they're gonna scout in. So yeah, it's basically XDev.
Nice. And then we got SIE Bend Studio, that new game. We don't know what they're making on, but I'm sure I think their game is going to be hopefully discussed Thursday. We'll see what that is. It says new open world game.
That soon?
Yeah, I think so. When did Days Gone launch? It was 2 years ago.
2019.
Right. So it's about
You're
time.
fucking sure.
Part 2. I don't know
But
about that part.
No. It's about. I mean, you don't think they could drop a title of their new game? You don't think so?
They could totally fucking. Here's the thing. I mean, depending on the
I don't think Sony's in the business of dropping titles.
They did with a Ragnarok. What are you talking about? That was literally just a title
Because
screen.
Ragnarok is a big ass name.
All right, fair enough.
I don't think
Okay.
you're just gonna drop a title on a.
Unless it's Siphon Filter.
Like
Like I said,
Siphon Filter title.
No, seriously, no. That's legit. No, I'm being serious. Like Ragnarok is a big name, but as far as nostalgia, Siphon Filter is a big name in nostalgia.
Hold on. You guys.
If we go off that Jason Schreier article, though, they got the green light for a new IP that they are excited about. So
We'll see.
I would assume that it's.
Not only that, there is a guy that said that a lot of people is gonna be in shock of what they're gonna see.
All right.
So that I think it was like 3 days ago.
That is David Jaffe. He actually hyped it up.
Yeah.
He saw a game. They described it to him, and it is so fucking amazing. But he said he said he doesn't know if it's gonna be shown at this event or no.
I don't
But
know.
one thing he did say, and this is I'm gonna go with not safe for work. He said if God of War had a penis, it would be the size of 40 something.
Jeez.
Man.
Let me finish the rest, and then I want Akira to go. Insomniac Games, obviously, they're making Ratchet. Well, they just finished Ripped Apart and are working on Spider-Man 2. Let's see.
They might show us a teaser of Spider-Man 2.
Probably.
Well,
Yeah, I
they
can see
can
that.
push out pretty quick because I
No,
mean,
it's
the same
Insomniac.
thing.
Insomniac
It's New
Studio
York.
is their workhorse studio. They pump out games. So
Yeah.
They pump up.
They're using dark magic, man. Like
yeah,
they
the
let them
juju,
rest
man.
or something.
Yeah, some juju,
Too many
man.
games, man.
They got the juju, and then Naughty Dog, Last of Us Factions multiplayer is what they're working on, and apparently,
Oh, I did because
the
I
remake.
see. I didn't think they were working on anything aside from just sitting on their asses.
this guy, Pixel Opus is what I was
No,
mentioning.
they're working on factions, but I don't think it'll be. I think it'll be a standalone game.
It's gonna definitely be. They said it was gonna be standalone. So and the remake, I guess. I think Sony Ben might be helping them with this as well. Last of Us remake. Pixel Opus, their last game was Concrete Genie, and their current projects unknown. They're more in the indie space. Obviously they're not independent, but they're double A. Double A studio.
Pixel Opus is working with like people who worked on the Into the Spider-Verse movie right now.
Interesting. Okay.
That's news about them, yeah. So they're making a game, and they're also working with Sony Pictures. You know, like I said, who made the Into the Spider-Verse movie? Like, you know, people from there are working with them. So it's kind of might be a cinematic kind of experience as well. But Pixel Opus is stuff too.
Then San Diego, obviously the makers of MLB The Show, they're also making a new Uncharted game apparently, rumored. So we'll see with that. I don't know much about that. Then obviously Santa Monica is making God of War Ragnarok. And Sucker Punch current projects unknown, which is weird because we already know they're making
Famous rumor.
not Tsunami shit. Ghost of Tsushima 2 and
Infamous rumor as well.
and Infamous rumor. So that's we just went through the first party.
And also their new studio that helps with all the PC ports so they can bring it all to the glory of
We just heard from Akira, we can say, right, about level 5?
Level 5?
Yeah, what we just heard from, what's his name?
Frontline Gamer,
Yeah.
about level 5.
So,
Yeah, again, look.
rumor?
Look, man, it's like this.
Go ahead, Akira. Go ahead, do your thing.
Sorry, it's like this. Herman Hulst, right? We just talked about this a while ago because a lot of people really did not pay attention to what he was saying when he was first appointed to his promotion. So Herman Hulst is, let's just say, with PlayStation, I have lost a lot of faith with them looking back into their legacy, especially after Jim Ryan said that who would play old games and then he apologized for it. However, Herman Hulst is kind of like my ray of hope because I love the PlayStation legacy, and he kind of said that he would he will help PlayStation Studios to make new games to the best of their ability. However, he also said that he loves PlayStation legacy and is aware that they're kind of fading away because they've been not revisiting them for a long time. And he kind of said that he wants to bring those legacies back to to PlayStation, so that because he really cherished those legacy, and they know that they are the reason why PlayStation is as big as it is right now.
What you're saying is
Arms.
you're saying there's hope for an Ape Escape reboot.
For which one?
Wild Arms.
No, he's talking about Legend of Dragoon.
No, Wild Arms wasn't made by.
You need to know the IP, right?
Might be Legend of Dragoon, maybe Soul River.
Yeah, look, Legend of Dragoon is possible. I mean, that's a Sony IP. We got Siphon Filter, also Sony IP. SOCOM, Resistance. Again, this is like the amount of IPs when you talk about PlayStation legacy is a huge treasure. It's like a huge gold mine. To be honest,
I think I would love to see a Legend of Dragoon so much.
Yeah.
me as well.
The amount of budget that would take to make a AAA JRPG 100-hour plus game. Oh my, like that, like I don't know who's gonna convince that boardroom to approve that.
This is the thing about myself. I'm the biggest Legend of Dragoon fan out there. To be honest, I played the game over 50 times. I finished it over 50 times. And it's my favorite JRPG. And basically, I've always wanted it to come back. Basically, because after the sequel got canceled, it kind of lost hope that it'll ever come back. However, after Blue Point developer Pierre Dalton expressed that he wants to make a Legend of Dragoon project, and then they made this cryptic tweet Halloween, Legend of Dragoon was referenced there twice. and then another one is and to add up that Herman Holst wants to visit old legacies of PlayStation. Legend Dragoon is definitely one of them. If you've been in Japan when Legend of Dragoon was being marketed, is basically was the Final Fantasy killer. It was.
I remember.
You had I was in the marketing era of Legend Dragoon. You can see this big walls, carved with the Legend Dragoon characters before when they were marketing the game. It was really huge. It's a big Sony IP. It's a special one. It has a cult following. So I gotta be honest. If it ever gets a remake, I think it will do well. To be honest,
Yeah,
I really think so.
Well, but I just think it'll be. I think it's just gonna be hard to get someone to greenlight it.
all right.
But I think if they do it, I think it'll be kind of episodic the way Final Fantasy VII is if they do it.
All right, hold on.
You know what I would like?
We got.
I mean,
Accurate. I
Go ahead,
gotta
sorry.
go back with you. So back on topic with the showcase. What do you expect to see this Thursday, and what would make it a W for you? What do you want to see?
An L for me is an L for me would be if I see Deathloop again. I'm so tired of that game. I'm so fucking tired of that game. Like, dude, they show it so much that I almost don't want to play it anymore because it's just,
It's their
games
big
giving
game
updates
this
is
holiday,
always
though.
great.
You gotta remember, it's their big game this holiday for Sony. That's why.
Yeah. It's always great to show updates, but if it's too much, it's where I get like alienated by it because I want to see other games too.
Yep.
So something like
COVID
that.
impact, man. It's the COVID impact.
So if I see Deathloop, it'll be an L, to be honest. Now, to be honest, let's say specifics. I'm the kind of dude who kind of wants to be surprised. For example, in the first showcase, I didn't expect anything. Then I saw Miles Morales and Forbidden West and Kenna.
Yeah.
And then in the second showcase, I didn't expect anything. Then I see Final Fantasy 16 gameplay of Miles Morales and Demon Souls.
Yeah, Demon Souls is a good
And
one.
those are pleasant surprise, right? Pleasant surprises.
Demon Souls
And
is a good one.
I think right now, God of War, basically God of War Ragnarok, and I'm basically wanting to see a game that will give me the same reaction I had when I saw Kenna. That kind of game again.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be indie; it could be AAA, but it's a game that I didn't expect that would be there, but it will surprise me like that. Basically, that's kind of what I think would be a win.
Okay. So you're more in line of like just want to see some surprises. You're not guaranteeing new IPs like Omar just said. He's like, I'm guaranteeing new IPs. That's what he said.
This is me. I mean, I've been a PlayStation guy. I started gaming with PlayStation. I have been a PlayStation guy all my life. Owned all PlayStation consoles. I just trust PlayStation. Let's just say it like this. Whenever PlayStation is an event, state of play or not, I know there's going to be something there that I would like to have. That's like how it always was when it comes to them.
Okay.
So when they announce an event, I never temper my hype because I know I'm always going to be satisfied, and they never disappoint me with an event before. So
Why
yeah.
did you not say Metal Gear Solid Remake? I was recommended with that.
I mean, it would be great. Metal Gear is my favorite.
I'll be.
You think that's bad? The whole
remake they just remade it like.
I really believe. I really believe
I want the
that
Silent Hill
Metal
remake
Gear
to die,
has
that's it.
I really believe Metal Gear is such a. It's very very possible because, like I said, when Herman Holtz says he wanted to visit legacies, Metal Gear is such a big part of PlayStation legacy. It's just a
PlayStation.
very
Didn't they say Silent Hill? Like Silent
every
Hill
time you
remake?
I don't
Silent
have
Hill.
MGS remake if they're gonna make
I
one.
mean, I would prefer Metal Gear to be honest,
same.
because Silent Hill is kind of a. Silent Hill is a remake that I cannot see how to do. I can only see Silent Hill being rebooted, but not remake. So yeah, we'll see.
Fair enough. All right. Let me see. I think Nubs is still in his thing. If you have anything to say about the showcase, and then if not, we'll move on. Nubs, you there?
Coming soon Thursday.
Yeah, real bit. If not, all right. So we have a little bit of time to go over what we were discussing off air about.
There we go.
About the
Damn,
whole
I
Japanese.
didn't get my expectations.
Oh, my bad, Farrell. Go ahead. Go do your expectation, and then we're going to transition to what you were discussing.
One more thing. A game that I don't know would maybe be there. Remember that game in the first PlayStation 5 showcase called Pragmata?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pragmata.
We haven't heard a long time from that game. I don't know if they would show it again because it was in the first PlayStation 5 showcase.
Wait, hold on, Pragmata. Is that the one with the dude in the space suit?
Yep.
Yeah.
The Capcom one?
It's Capcom, yeah.
From Capcom, yeah.
Alright, false.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you see some,
There's
to see
another
some
game. There's
gameplay
another game
from
too that they didn't show. It was kind of like Monster Hunter ish. He was fighting a dragon, I think, in like an arena. It's PlayStation. You know what I'm talking about?
Wait, Dragon? Oh, wait, Dragon?
Was it a dragon?
Is it recent or is it in the showcase?
It must have been. I want to say maybe a year ago. There's like a knight or something fighting this beast.
Oh, yeah, it's Project Awakening. It's Project Awakening.
Awakening, yeah. What happened to
Project
that?
Awakening. Yeah, Project
Yeah.
Awakening. Here's the thing. Project Awakening. So, that's made by Psy Games, same developers from Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. So the latest update about Project Awakening is that they created a new engine for this game. So basically, Psy Games is known for anime games, but they create an engine for realistic games, and that's what they're going to use for Project Awakening. It's their newest and best engine right now. So when they show Project Awakening again, it's going to look different than what we saw before. It's going to look even better, I'm sure of it.
Okay, fair enough. That's why I want to update on that because that looked pretty cool.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool. I love it. Yeah.
All right, so Pharaoh, man, say your piece, and we got to go on the topic that you wanted to talk about.
As far as the Sony show,
Yeah,
I
just wanna-
think what
yeah.
we're gonna see. I think of course we're gonna see God of War.
Mhm.
I think I think we'll get a sizzle reel of Horizon Forbidden West because they just did a show in June about it.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll see too much of that, but I do think we see that. I think we're gonna see 2 or 3 third-party exclusive games. Forspoken might be one of them. Final Fantasy 16, one of those 2, and probably 2 that we haven't seen yet. I think will probably be there. Gran Turismo 7. I think we'll get that, and I think we'll get a concrete release date for Gran Turismo 7.
Gran Turismo versus
Sorry.
Forza reboot. That's gonna be interesting.
I think. Sorry. By the way, about PlayStation event, I really think people shouldn't temper their hype for this one because this is my reason is. This is basically closing the first year of next gen for PlayStation. They have to go out with a bang. They have to.
Okay.
Like
I think
closing.
they're gonna have an amazing show, but I don't think first party wise they're gonna show a lot that we're gonna get in the next 12 to 15 months per se. Like based on just everything that we just kind of went through, what everyone's working on. I think Ghost of Tsushima would be a 2023 game at the earliest. I think God of War is probably late 2022, maybe early 2023.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I think we're gonna see. I think they're gonna have a fantastic show, but as far as like what we're getting in the next like 12, 15 months, I think a lot of what we see that we're gonna get in the next 12, 15 months is gonna be carried by the third-party deals that they have signed that we don't know about yet. So I think they'll have a couple exclusives lined up for us that'll get us excited.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So Pharaoh, so we'll transition to what you were talking about. You and Omar was talking about the impact of Japan, right, when it comes to games.
There we go.
Nexus. All right.
Nexus. Oh,
Yeah, so we're talking about. So Omar brought the topic about how Nexus basically bombed in Japan, and it was mainly due to
on Xbox.
On Xbox. Well, no, he's talking about in general.
No.
On PlayStation 2?
No.
I mean, no. We're talking about all sales, like the whole thing, all platforms.
And Omar's theory behind that is because it was promoted by Xbox, and because it was promoted by Xbox, the Japanese didn't buy it. And
I think sorry, it's not that it was promoted by Xbox. The main problem with the marketing with Xbox was they removed the PlayStation logo, completely removed it. And every time they marketed Scarlet Nexus to the world, they removed the PlayStation logo. So there were really a lot of people from the East that were asking if this was an Xbox exclusive, and so many of them are from Japan. And the developer, the lead developer Kenji, he needed to go on radio shows and TV shows just to emphasize to people that this game is also on PlayStation. He need to do the extra effort, the extra mile, just to get that out there.
Yeah, I mean, and I just want to just preface that by saying,
when PlayStation markets on a multiplat, they never remove the Xbox logo.
yes, they do.
Never do that.
Yes, they do. Because is there an
Which
Xbox
one?
logo for Kenya? Because that's a time exclusive. Like, do they?
I mean,
when they did it
look,
for,
I'm talking about
No, it's
that's
time-
time
it's
exclusive. Yeah.
He said
I think they
multiply.
did it with Resident Evil.
I'll just-
Resident Evil people thought was
Xbox
Resident Evil
was-
7. Resident Evil 7 specifically.
PlayStation has definitely removed the Xbox logo.
Let me check. Dante is Dante is doing his due diligence like nobody else does, and I'm gonna go and check the trailers. From like, I would say from I would honestly turn around and say from timed exclusives, that's not that big of a deal because you can just remarket it again for release on Xbox, because usually it doesn't come out. It's a timed exclusive. Annoyingly, it comes out like a year later, because remember Crash Bandicoot? When when a year elapsed, they started just putting out advertisements again saying coming to Switch, Xbox, and PC. So like I would see that as a non-starter. But if it's a multi-plat that's coming out day and day on all consoles, removing the logos yes. I'm gonna go out on my thing, and I'm gonna get on my high horse and say that is scummy, and that's coming from all sides. If Xbox did it and PlayStation did it, that's scummy. Now give me a second. I'm looking at the official trailer.
The main thing was what do you call this? The main thing was it's a Japanese game, right? Scarlet Nexus is a Japanese game, and the main problem is if you give the idea that it's an Xbox exclusive, is that the market for Xbox in Japan or in the East in general is not that big yet, because they just didn't push hard enough before. They're just pushing hard now. So when you do that to a game where there's not so much market share because you didn't push before, then you're gonna end up kind of slitting the throats of that game before it even released. Because I personally think if Scarlet Nexus was marketed properly with all the logos, it would have been more successful. And I mean this by not only because of Xbox, I mean because the market is just that big on PlayStation when it comes to Japanese games. Because the reason for that is because they push the game from Japan for 4 generations. They've been pushing it all along. They never stopped pushing it worldwide. They never stopped pushing the global market. And that's why the market is a lot bigger when it comes to the East for PlayStation. I think Scarlet Nexus would have sold more if it was properly marketed as a multiplat.
Okay, so I can now confirm that on the very first trailer that was ever released, I believe in 2016, E3 2016, when it was first released, there was no Xbox logo, just the PlayStation 4 logo at the very end on the pre-order now. But what's weird about that is that was shown on the Sony conference at E3 2016. Like that wasn't marketing that was done like outside of the event. You know what I mean?
I just remember for a long time everyone thought that it was a PlayStation exclusive.
Destiny 1.
Hold on.
People thought it was a PlayStation exclusive as well.
I am now looking at a September 29th, 2016 trailer, the Take 2 The Baker's trailer, because the first one was Take 1 Disillusion. Take 2 The Baker's, that was released after E3, does not have the Xbox logo either.
Okay, so Resident Evil 7. Alright, yeah.
And then on the official launch trailer, it does have the Xbox logo.
Yeah,
okay, so I was sorry.
Destiny did
I'm a bit
on
updated on the recent ones.
Oh no,
I kind of forgot about Resident Evil. Yeah, all right. Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah.
Thank you for telling me that. Yeah, but this is what I meant. It's still. I agree though. Whenever a company markets a multiplat and they remove the logo from one of the platforms that that game is going to be on, I always find it's coming in spite of it, PlayStation or Xbox, because it's kind of killing the game as well. You see, not everybody owns an Xbox, not everybody owns a PlayStation. So if you remove one of those levels from a game, you already lose market share from said platform owners because they cannot know immediately if they can even get the game or not.
Yeah,
So I always appreciate
necessarily care
sorry.
because they're paying for that. Like
But
like
you need to understand
they bought
it's
those marketing rights for a reason. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm saying I don't think Xbox and PlayStation care. Like, we gave you this money.
I mean,
shut up.
sorry.
Sorry.
I mean, this is the thing. No, wait a sec. This is why it's important. All right. The reason why it's important to to market properly is because your partnership also depends on that. Do you really think? Let me tell you right now. Do you really think Scarlet Nexus developer, because of what Xbox did, is going to partner itself again with Microsoft? How many percentage do you think that's going to happen? They almost killed the game.
Money talks, man. They'll go again if they get the bag for it.
No, I literally told you.
Sorry, go ahead.
The price will go up.
I literally told.
I won't say they'll never do it, but I will say the price will definitely go up.
I actually.
Yeah, exactly. It's it's like this.
Just okay, let me say one thing. I literally said it. This is Scalebound 2.0. What I mean by that, the ramification of what happened with Scalebound have prevented Xbox from getting more in connection with Japanese developers. And this happened now not a second time, but more like this also happened. And from what Akira has told me, people were hyped for Scalebound in Japan, to the point it even beat Final Fantasy in hype level. Can you say
true. Scalebound had 78% of the votes from Tokyo Game Show when it was revealed, and that never happened before. Where it beat Final Fantasy on the same event, by the way, and it's a new IP. That's true. By the way, but
that does actually speak. That does speak a lot, actually.
I said it, but no one wants to believe that.
Because nobody cares, bro. It's done. Scalebound is dead. Let it die. It's so old. Nobody cares. I don't want to hear
it's like this. The only thing about Scalebound is it was the ticket of Microsoft to break the Eastern market. It was undeniable that it was a ticket for it. But yeah, that's done. What I was trying to say about the partnerships is when you build a partnership from a certain developer from a certain area, you're also building your market share in that area.
We don't have enough time to be able to discuss that. That's a bigger hold on. That's a bigger debate when it comes to, like, when you're saying that it was their chance to break into the Eastern market. I disagree, because on 360 they had Lost Odyssey, the creator of fucking Final Fantasy, they had Blue Dragon, they had all these games. Like, and you're trying to tell me a game Scalebound that didn't show it like hardly any gameplay from who made the game? I forgot.
Platinum Games
was that one game they were gonna break into.
Let me explain why that could have done it. Because back when Xbox had all of those things, PlayStation and Sony had such a stranglehold on the Japanese market, which undeniably they have been losing over the years.
To Nintendo.
It only takes one game.
Exactly.
Like Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey being there, yes, that is.
But it's not. But no. Lost Odyssey is the you know what I mean. The guy who created it is like the god. You know what I mean. The creator of Final Fantasy, right? How's that not a big deal?
I'm not saying that game's not a big deal. But what I'm saying is it only takes one song, one game, one album, one. It only takes one to crack a market, and Scalebound could have been that game for Microsoft. I'm not going to say that it couldn't have. It very well could have. Like, it could have.
Over and over. And now we're seeing it Scalebound 2.0 with what happened was...
You can't say Scalebound 2.0. The game didn't die. Scarlet Nexus is not Scalebound 2.0.
Nobody was buying some big-ass clunky Xbox One to play Scalebound in Japan. I mean, even if they were excited about it, I think they would have held off till it was available on PC or what's available now,
No,
like
but
xCloud. I
because
figured the technology was
Microsoft
there,
was not
maybe,
doing
but
anything with PC. And also, I want to add to that is now
Sorry,
Microsoft
guys.
PC in 2017.
with what
2017.
I want to talk
Yeah.
about what happened with Starlet Nexus. Don't you think
One
now
sec.
other developers
Sorry.
now gonna know about this shit? Word spread fast. If developer A tells developer B, hey look, I don't think you need to partner with these dudes because look what they did. They almost killed my IP. Like,
Money
No,
talks.
no, that,
Sorry.
It's all.
that's
Listen.
very
Listen.
anecdotal.
Hold on, let Akira talk.
Go to Kira. Go to Kira.
Listen, it's like this. Money talks. It's true. However, money cannot buy. Money cannot buy a global market properly. You know what I'm trying to say? Because when you strengthen partnerships, that's how you can build a global market. But if you're trying to strain partnerships and try to bulldoze everything with money, you're not going to be able to build a market. And this shows because I always gave it an example as PlayStation has been building a global market for generations. I'm talking about 4 generations. They've been pushing that global market. I always tell people it's not really that PlayStation has more exclusives, has more games. That's why they're market leader. They just have a bigger global market. That's the only reason why they're a market leader right now. Because they're building their partnerships properly. All right, Resident Evil 7 they could have missed, and then I think when they showed the Xbox logo, I think maybe Capcom would have spoken up now that why are you not showing this logo, because that's also possible. And but however, PlayStation is still trying to build a global market more and more every generation. Even this generation, they're building it way more than before. They're going to India, they're going to China, they're going to Korea, they're going to Singapore, to Malaysia, to Taiwan, and Microsoft has not even tried to push any global market yet that we heard of. The last time I heard was Bright Memory Infinite. It's China. After that, you really heard nothing, right? There's no push on the global market.
Well,
Hold on. That's not true. That's not true.
They've come out and said Tokyo
look,
Game Show is totally focused
sorry, go
on
ahead.
the Japanese market.
Yeah, but
the Asian market.
What I'm trying to say, sorry, is they're pushing now.
Yeah,
They're
no, I
trying
agree.
to push now.
I agree.
And that's
I agree.
basically what
They're forcing now.
All right. So,
yeah, exactly. They're playing catch up now
Yeah.
with capturing a global market,
Yeah.
and this is
By
why.
buying it.
And when you strain partnerships like that, like with Scarlet Nexus, let's say money talks and they'll be able to do it again. However, their global market is not growing though because they're not doing a proper partnership to be able to to expand that market more. Because Karaba is also true. Word of mouth travels fast as well, even to other Japanese developers.
It does.
They'll be, they will be talking as well that, they can see how it was marketed, they can see the numbers, they can see the sales, they will be able to see it. Not every Japanese developer can take the risk of putting multi-plat if they don't see any success in it, and the numbers talk for themselves.
Yeah, before this is gonna have to be another topic. We might have to do this next week again. But like you were talking about how the global, you're right. Xbox had to do it this generation, or technically towards the end of last generation, where they had to build upon the Japanese. They had to redo it. They it was so fractured that they had to redo it compared to Sony when they were building upon it. But a little bit of irony in that is that Sony has been damaging their Japanese reputation as well, from this getting rid of the acclaimed Japanese Sony Japan, right?
Japan studio.
And dissolving them and making them to a Asobi studio. You're trying to say that developers don't talk about that? Like, I'm sure there was some heat that Sony got from that, and also moving the headquarters to California, and maybe it's a little bit different. From, like, it could be. I'm saying, like, I see that a little bit different compared to Microsoft also not only investing in a Japanese studio, which they do. The creator of Silent Hill, right? Microsoft owns that studio.
Wait.
Resident
Evil. Oh, sorry, Resident Evil. I'm sorry, Resident Evil. Yeah, sorry. Tango's Xbox. So when the next game Tango comes out, and then they also could be like, you know what? It's not that bad working for Microsoft. You know what I mean? So it could go both ways. That's what I'm saying.
The slight difference with that, there is like one iota difference.
Mm-hmm.
Tango Gameworks has been owned by a Western company for multiple years now already.
Yeah. But now
Bethesda,
it's
yeah.
Microsoft though as well. That's what I'm saying.
Here's the main difference. I mean, like I said, all companies can make the mistakes. I was not happy about Sony Japan Studio because, like I said, I love Legend of Dragoon. It came from that studio. That studio is the reason why I'm a gamer right now.
And they got
my
gutted.
fucking legacy.
And they got
My
gutted
heroes,
by
and
Sony. That's what I'm saying.
exactly. And this is the thing. This is true that this word also travels fast. And Asobi is also a great studio, a great Japanese studio. We will see what their future is.
It's not even run by a Japanese guy. It's run by a European dude. So,
but they got a majority of Japanese developers. But I get it. What I'm trying to say is, it's true that they both make mistakes. However, you will always get a difference in which, for example, I'm going to say it like this: Sony can take that hit because they built that market for generations. Mm-hmm. However, if Microsoft tries to take that hit while trying to force their way to build a global market right now, it's more damaging to them if they try to take such a hit.
I agree.
You know what I'm trying to say?
I get what you're saying.
I agree what you're saying.
They don't have the same goodwill that
they don't have
Sony
the same
has
foundation as Sony.
Exactly. The foundation that Sony built kind of makes it, give a leeway for some mistakes. However, Microsoft is trying to push I'm commending Microsoft for pushing hard this gen for that global market because they really, really failed pushing that for two generations now.
Yeah, and they should have done it in the 360 generation. They didn't capitalize on it.
Exactly. They should have done 360 and they didn't capitalize on it. And basically now I see Phil Spencer really trying hard to push that global market. However, that's still gonna take years because if it took PlayStation 4 generations, no matter how much money you bleed, no matter how much money you give, it's not gonna take 1 to 2 years to build that global market share that PlayStation built.
I agree.
I don't know. A lot of Xbox guys, especially on this podcast, think that Game Pass is gonna do that overnight when it gets released on all these TVs and phones and stuff.
I mean, don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on Game Pass. You gotta be careful. Don't sleep on Game Pass.
I mean, for me, this is what I think about games. I think Game Pass is it's gonna be just an ecosystem in the future, and they might even partner with PlayStation and Nintendo just to build their global market way more to make this ecosystem successful. However, if they do that, then they're not really part of the console conversation anymore. And if they do that,
then that's a whole different situation. But an end game is not about being part of the console market. It's about being everywhere.
World fucking domination.
Yeah, that's what Microsoft wants. World domination. They don't give a fuck if it's console domination.
It could be everywhere. But the only thing that I said about Game Pass is how much money can Microsoft?
Yeah, scrub. Sorry,
the only question that I have for Game Pass is just like if they're planning to do this grand scheme right in the future, how much money can they bleed before they,
unlimited money. Microsoft.
We're talking about $1 trillion company. So they spent $7.5 billion in Bethesda. They could spend another one for whatever they want.
I mean, we're talking about they kind of said they want to be the Netflix of gaming, right?
Yeah, they need everything.
Now, if we consider Netflix is still in debt. Basically, they're still in debt. I mean, they're getting profit just to pay off their debts.
You're thinking about Netflix and Microsoft as the two. They're talking about the grand scheme of thing of it being everywhere. When it comes to finances, I'm not doubting Microsoft. Like people have to think outside of it's not the same. Like Microsoft is a fucking behemoth.
What I'm only trying to say is that Microsoft can be $1 trillion company. However, their goal is to make profit because they are a company.
Exactly.
If they bleed more money than they profit, that's what I'm trying to ask of how long can they bleed?
I see what you
mean. That's what I'm trying to say.
I see what you're saying, but I don't think Netflix is
not
the
same.
proper example.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because Netflix started from the ground up as they are. I think the better example. I think the better example
would be Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime Originals.
Exactly.
Or Disney Plus, or Disney Plus. Companies that are already established
that'd be more of an
companies,
example.
trillion-dollar companies that decide to push themselves into a new market.
Yeah.
So,
But
like,
however,
Disney Plus decided to push themselves into a new market with streaming. Same
but
with
that's the thing. They're doing the global push because it's really because of Game Pass. It's because of Game
That's what
Pass
they
and
need. They need
XCloud.
it. Yeah,
So
they need
they're
it.
doing that's why they're doing the global push, because without the global push, like I said, they're gonna bleed without profit. But if they have the global push, if they have the global market to be able to distribute Game Pass to the world, like how much foundation Sony built. Basically, for example, they got the market share or global market share that Sony has, and then they release Game Pass to the world. It's going to be successful because it's a huge market, and that's why they're doing the strong global push that they're doing right now, because that's what I'm seeing the future that they're aiming for. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure once they cross that 30 million threshold, they're pretty solid in the green one at that point.
I mean, time will tell. I mean, they're doing well when it comes to getting the subscriber count out. They still lack they need a Japanese publisher, in my opinion.
If anything, they need to break. If anything, I think we're thinking.
Wait, Karaba, wait. I'm sorry.
No,
about the Japanese publisher. I'll try to explain.
Or a couple Japanese studios or something. They need more than
this is what the world. One sec, Karaba, wait. This is what the world needs to know about Japanese developers in general. A lot of them are. Japanese developers really hate to be tied to a company. Mm-hmm. They really love being independent. There are so many in the history of so many Japanese developers who got purchased, and then so many people left because they don't want to be tied down to a company. It's kind of like, it's not all of them, but there's so many of them who have that that track record of leaving Japanese studios who are basically bought by companies. That's a big track record. That's why I said that with Japanese publishers, I'm not sure if it's going to be a good thing if they do it, because again, when you purchase a publisher, it needs to go both ways, right? It needs to profit one another. However, what I'm trying to say is, if you don't have a proper market yet in Japan, and you try to purchase a Japanese publisher without removing the PlayStation market from these,
your game is dead on arrival.
You're kind of one sec. You're kind of cutting off their their foundation, kind of, because like I said, those were partnerships and relationships built over the years. If they buy like I said, publisher,
Scarlet is a bad example.
I mean, it's just
like this. It's like no. Hold on, Omar. It's like this. It's Omar. Hold on. Time out. It's like this. Hold on. It's like no. Hold on. Let me finish. We gotta close this out anyway. But it's like this, right? End of the day, you're a gamer, right? You can have ties to PlayStation. You can have ties to whatever. If I'm a gamer in Japan, I love all things Square Enix. I love all Capcom, stuff like that. And I usually play that on PlayStation, right? Majority of the gamers in Japan are mobile anyway. But say you're one of those that are still console based. If your console choice is PlayStation and they no longer make Capcom games because say Sony or Xbox bought out Capcom, right? Or Sega, right? And like, damn, they bought them out. But I'm still a gamer. I still love I want to play Judgment 3. I really want to play that bad. You're trying to tell me you're not gonna play it? You're not gonna buy the Xbox to get that? It's put up or shut up when it comes to being a gamer. Like you're gonna do it. That's just how it is. That's how Sony did it.
Wait.
Akira, give me a second. We literally seen it with Scarlet Nexus.
That's a multi-plat game. I'm talking about exclusive. I'm talking about it being exclusive. You have no fucking choice. It's like Final Fantasy Remake 1 or the remake. You had no choice.
Listen. Microsoft marketed Scarlet Nexus as an exclusive in Japan. This was quote unquote exclusive. This alone shows how the Japanese people think. This game would have fucking flopped.
It's not what
There's a difference between a game and a publisher that releases a series of games.
Yes.
There's a difference between one and, like, for instance, like if you're a fan of Sega and Sega makes 10, 5, 6 franchises that you absolutely adore, that's a difference.
You're gonna go where the games are.
Yeah, that's true. However, the staggering difference of the market share for example, for a Japanese publisher between PlayStation and Xbox, it's sometimes kind of a hard decision because sometimes when we look at how much a game, for example, how much game sales like, sometimes we see differences like 91% PlayStation, 91% PS4, 50% PS5, and then you got like 8% for Xbox, for example, right? Now, if you consider these numbers on how many people actually buy or play the game on PlayStation, when we're talking about software only, it's kind of you're kind of also, if you buy the publisher and then people will be forced to buy an Xbox, however, you're still dividing that market share that they built before. You will still not be able to get all 90% of those people. For example, you're still gonna get let's say 40 or 50, because again, like I was trying to tell, Microsoft is only trying to push the global market now. They're playing catch up with getting a global market.
Right.
PlayStation built foundations of it. That's the only reason why most of those multiplayer games are selling more on PlayStation, because they just have a more market there. Just more people know their name. More people have support from PlayStation for something like that. And this is sometimes a risk that a Japanese publisher need to consider before they even agree to be purchased, because in their eyes and in my eyes as well, I don't see any Japanese publisher right now that can profit by being bought by Microsoft.
Well,
I just
we'll see.
don't see it right now.
You don't have to worry about profiting anymore.
Exactly. The profit goes out the window when you become a first party studio. But anyway, that's that. I gotta close this out.
I want to kind of.
We have no time. Sorry, we have no time.
Yeah, we do. We have like 2 seconds.
You don't speak too much.
I think
You got 2 seconds.
I'll cut you off. When it comes to the Japanese market, though, it honestly, in my opinion, aside from some other Asian countries like South Korea, Russia as well, and possibly India, if these companies can push into it, you might see them trying to focus more and more on the Japanese market, considering recently and realistically a huge part of the Asian market recently just got closed off with this whole China ban as well. Which is the truth, considering now people at a certain age can only game a certain amount of time a week. That's caused a massive gate on a lot of potential customers, because now people are going to think, I can only play so much, I'm going to dedicate to this game, not multiple games, because I only have this limited amount of time. Yeah. So exactly, it's like, what is it, like 4 hours on the weekend or something? Yeah, that's all they've got. So the Chinese market, in my opinion, as far as gaming, is officially been closed to any serious investment. Except import, that is, not export. I'm sure they could do gangbusters exporting. So I feel like we're going to see a lot more focus on a Japanese market now, because I would say maybe outside of South Korea and maybe Central Russia, like they are like the biggest intake of revenue as far as like an Asian market.
Yep. Look, I love you guys, but I had to get out of here, y'all. We're super late. I appreciate Eternal Sajada for coming through. Definitely check him out on Sunday. Akira, man, thank you for your thoughts. Great conversation. We have to give you back, because we're gonna have this. We're gonna have this as a single debate, or maybe one or two. We're gonna talk about how do we make those inroads and changes for you, like especially someone in Japan.
Next week.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
We'll try to do it next week, but we're gonna have to talk about the showcase. That's gonna take up half the show at least.
Oh,
We'll probably do both.
Go ahead. Yeah.
But anyway,
watching it.
Appreciate you guys. Love the people listening for the first time. Make sure karate chop your like button. Subscribe if you're new. Share this to gamers everywhere. We are out of here, and always keep it gaming.
Keep it gaming.
Peace.
Let's go.
I'm on the outside looking in.